Hi everyone, my name is James. I am the box office artist, and welcome to part 2. That's right, part 2 of how to draw Thanos from Infinity War. This is one of the more fun parts because we are actually cleaning up the layout work that we did in the last video. Once again, for me personally, the layout video, the construction video is way more important out of the 3 videos, but again, whatever video you like to watch, totally up to you, but I prefer, honestly, if you watch all 3, including this one, which is basic finishing. We are going to clean up the drawing and start adding all the line detail. This is going to be a lot of fun, so grab your, oh, by the way, you don't have to use the exact same materials that I'm using. Now, to let you guys know, I'm using a Strathmore Bristol board, okay, 11 by 17. I am also using microns, and I am using like Sharpies and thicker markers. I know a lot of you hate me using Sharpies, but I'm comfortable with it right now. But again, for this particular phase here, I would actually recommend, if this is your first time doing something like this, please, please, please use a pencil. Use a pencil. You don't need to use a pen. Use a pencil. That way you will have more leeway to erase and correct things, okay? And as you get more comfortable with these things, then you could go ahead and start using the ink pen, okay? So, once again, this video will be sped up. I believe the length of this in real time is around, it's over an hour. Definitely over an hour. So I did speed this up. How fast did I speed up? You're going to find out in just a moment, but thank you guys for joining in today. Let's get started with a basic finishing of drawing Thanos. Okay, here we go with the basic finishing, and as you guys know, I always like to start trying to rough in the head. Well, there are specific cases where I don't finish the head first. But in this particular case, again, I always like to go to the face, because the face is, you know, it's just like the eyes, window to the soul. Whenever I work out a face, I start with the eyes, because for me, that's the most important part of the face. That's where you really need to see personality and everything, all within the eyes. So, just roughing in all the little details, all the little wrinkles that Thanos has, you know, just trying to make you feel the surface of his face. How, you know, how things go around his face, how the skin kind of curls around his face there, right? So bringing those upper lip there, and now working all around the face, adding detail as I go, filling in the mouth. And as you know, like Thanos has like the scrolls. If you guys know the scrolls, he has a very similar style chin. Okay, so it's a very strong, but a lot of lines in that particular chin. I'll be honest, I was really excited to actually draw in all those little lines in his chin. Again, guys, get as much reference as you can, even him in the old costume. That will help you decipher how his face will look, okay? Maybe you don't want to go completely movie. Maybe you could even take some of the older versions of Thanos in the comics and have that be your guide as you put together the face. But as you see here, adding in all the little scratches on his face, like really analyze those little details. Like, it's up to you how much detail you want to put in, and I think even if you didn't put those little lines in the face, at the very least get the lines in your chin and you should be good. But again, totally up to you how much detail you want to add. Now here I'm working on the metal plate on top of his chest. As you see there, I'm using a French curve just to get those longer curved lines, okay? If I get free-handed, I will. If I feel confident with my freehanding, some days are better than others. If I feel confident, then I will just freehand it, but today, just to be as accurate as possible, and sometimes it's a little bit faster because of my experience using it, I will go ahead and use the French curve with that. The drawing in the collar, and this particular plate as well. Once again, this plate doesn't exactly follow the chest. It has to feel like it's sitting on top of the chest, over the stomach. That's why there's a little bit of space in between there. Okay, and then just adding all the little details inside that particular metal piece while going to the chest itself. Now, this particular video itself, the original was well over an hour. The original was well over an hour for this finishing part, and this is sped up to 10 minutes. So this is almost 6 times, okay? 6 times what the normal speed was. So feel free to pause whenever you can, okay? So adding all those little details there, those little line details there. Notice I add a little bit of thicker line, sometimes underneath. What that does, it really helps those lines pop, okay? It helps those lines pop. It helps emphasize certain different parts of the particular outfits of Thanos, okay? So it should feel extended out just a little bit, those lines. Like it's like little pieces of string that are sitting on top of the actual outfit itself. Okay, and as you notice, I like to put a lot of little double lines there with those details. Okay, a lot of little double lines. Okay, so just adding that all around the particular outfit. And now going to the shoulder here and adding the skin texture. Okay, so again, Thanos has the skin texture where there's a lot of like little straight lines around it. So that's the alien nature of Thanos himself. Here, going straight to the hand. You notice the little lines I put in between the fingers? Those little lines, you know, it kind of really symbolizes bone. How bone kind of protrudes out to the surface of his hand while the muscle and fat kind of wrinkle up behind the fingers itself. That's what I'm trying to portray there. And again, drawing those lines underneath the forearm and the bicep itself. Now I'm drawing in the belt, all the little details in the belt. Again, keep your references up, guys. Nothing wrong with doing references, especially trying to do an image like this where you actually have to be accurate with his outfit, Thanos' outfit. You know, there's no pop quiz here. No one's gonna care too much, really, if you looked at reference or not. Except for those who are like, oh, I don't need any reference at all. Well, you know, that's fantastic, but when you're trying to get accurate, if you need to get 100% accurate, you need to make sure that what you are drawing is accurate, right? That's why you need the reference. So nothing wrong with using references here, okay? So here, now I believe I'm using just a 0-1, and usually when I do that, I'm going over the whole artwork with that 0-1 first before I go ahead and thicken up the lines. Now you see here I went back with the red pencil just to add a little bit more detail. It could be, this is part I'm not 100% confident in going straight to ink because there was a little bit more detail going on with the particular gauntlet itself. So that's why I went back with the red pencil just to add in those little extra details before going back with the ink. Once again, guys, you could do this whole thing with a pencil. You do not need a red pencil. You do not need the micron. You could do the whole thing with just a pencil. You could sketch it out and then erase it and then finish on top, or you know, just do the layout very lightly and then draw on top harder with your pencil, and that would work out fine. Notice a few things. So when I'm drawing in this gauntlet here, you notice the little lines I put in the gems, and that actually gives the gems a little bit of form. Also note here, when I'm drawing the separation of the glove itself to the forearm, the hand to the forearm, notice the little thicker lines that I'm using. And again, that signifies just the tiniest bit of shadow that goes underneath the glove that helps separate it from everything that's around it. And going around and adding in all the little details. So much detail in the gauntlet itself. That's why you'll notice here in this particular drawing, I spend quite a bit of time on this particular gauntlet. I expect you to do the same. Once again, feel free, pause this video if you need to. Pause this video so you can catch up with all of these little details. But again, keep the reference handy. So if you can't really see what I'm drawing here, that you could refer back to the reference and draw in the rest of the particular glove there. Again, so drawing in all the little hand detail here, drawing in those little lines. You know those little lines there that I drew on the hand? That really emphasizes form of the hands. You could feel now inside those two squiggly lines. That feels like the top of the hand, and then everything to the side of the hand that emphasizes the side of the hand. Okay. Now going in here, actually adding in all the little extra details in here. So much detail, so much lines. So much detail, so much lines. There you go. And now this is the most detailed part of the actual gauntlet itself. That little section of detail right in the middle of the gauntlet. So you see here, I'm just finishing in the outlines first before tackling the middle part, because I know that's going to be the hardest part, is how all those little lines interweave with each other. So totally, again, guys, you don't have to draw all those little details. It's totally up to you. You can do implied detail where you make it feel a little bit like those details there, but not draw the whole thing. I actually go ahead and draw every single line in here. You don't necessarily have to do that, and for the most part, no one's going to complain, unless someone's just like a super fan. They'll be like, oh, this line here should be a little bit more to the left there. Oh, you're not a real fan. Something like that. You get people like that, which is fine. It just means that they're very, very passionate about their, whatever property that you are drawing, right? And they should be. They should be. That's the whole part of the fun. Okay, so here I'm just finishing off by adding some more of that little detail in there. You know, you could go back and forth with the reference. You could actually check on me, see how exactly accurate I am here. Now, as I'm recording this voiceover, I don't actually have the reference beside me, so I don't know exactly how accurate I am with this particular glove, but maybe you could tell me as well. But there again, drawing the skin right underneath the glove. Now, I'm gonna go over everything with a thick line. You've seen me do this before. Just a way, again, to separate all the different layers here. From the hand to the forearm, from the forearm to the upper arm there. And then from the outfit to the skin. Okay, having a thick line signifies that, you know, there's a break from the actual costume itself to the skin. And then drawing thicker lines all around the particular body of Thanos here. So, again, drawing around the particular Infinity Gauntlet there. Again, wherever I think there would be a spider crawling across the surface, when it crawls across the surface and you can't see the spider anymore, that's where you put the thick line, okay? I mentioned that, I did that analogy a while ago. It was actually one of you guys who actually gave me that particular analogy. I thought that was a great way to explain the thick line theory here. But it's just a way, again, to separate all the different parts of the particular body here. Okay, so just a few more thick lines around the belt here. And then gonna finish off the legs. And for the most part, this is the basic finishing. This is the image of Thanos pretty much done with the basic finishing. Again, you could stop here if you want. If you want to get more lighting and rendering, that's the next video. And there you go, that is it. Now, once again, you could stop right here. You could absolutely stop right here and, you know, you could be totally happy with your drawing. But if you want to add some more rendering to this particular drawing, that is for the third video, the lighting and rendering video, where I add some blacks and some cross-hatching to it. If you're interested in that, go check out that video. Hey, if you missed the construction side, how I actually drew this particular piece, go check that out. But once again, thank you guys for joining me. If you are new to my channel, you looked around, you like what you see, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, well, I will be your friend for life. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best. Please check out my online store if you can to help support me monetarily. But once again, you don't have to buy a thing from me. I am just happy you're here watching my videos. And thank you once again. My name is James. I am the box office artist. I'm here to say keep drawing. And I'll see you all next time.